do. Hey, welcome, welcome. I guess I figured it out. And I suppose I should just start as soon as I click the button, but I'm still trying to get used to this whole thing. Let's see if we're on all the platforms now. Okay. Almost there. Okay, so I need an intro song or something. Anyway, welcome. It is a fantastic January 2nd. It's a Monday. And I've got a couple stories today. Hopefully it will not go that long. Hopefully I won't ramble on too much, as I already have. But that's okay. I'm still trying to learn this streaming thing. Right before I went live, I guess I had the wrong key. If anyone is an expert in this streaming stuff, leave me a note in the comments. I would love some advice because there's some questions I just don't understand. I'm just not getting something. But anyway, we got it working, so let's get to it. It's an awesome Monday, and the big topic that I wanted to talk about today is about dating in your 50s. Now, this came up because I saw an article about, what was it about? China, right? China. How does Trump say it? China. Where several dating shows for older people in China have gained popularity in recent years, with contestants typically in their 50s or above. Now, these shows provide an opportunity for older people to discuss and address their social, romantic, and sexual needs, which are often taboo today in Chinese society due to ageism. And I think there's a lot of ageism, I guess. The show also addresses the reality of China's aging population, which is expected to be a third 60 years or older by 2050, and to tackle issues such as health, pensions, and loneliness. So these shows are helping to combat loneliness among older people in China, many of whom are unmarried, divorced, or widowed, and live alone due to economic development or urbanization that have caused their children to move away, as well as the One China policy. So, yeah, that's something. These shows are really popular, and I guess there's like 10 different programs on TV in China. So there's got to be something to it. Now, I actually haven't seen it. I've tried to look them up, and not that I would understand them, but to look them up. I wasn't able to find any to try watching just to get the gist of it. But I don't think I would want to go on TV on a dating show. That's for sure. What about you? Because, you just have everyone judging you. Everyone in the country is watching you, and you say, "Oh, what do you think about her?" And she's a little too big for me. And they're like, "Yeah, but you're fat." It's like, well, I don't think I would do well with that criticism. I don't know. What about you? Do you have any ideas on that about dating once you're over 50? It's been really interesting with the pandemic and everything closed down, and you were pretty much stuck with who you had prior to 3 years ago. The friends you have today are the friends probably that you had 3 years ago. The person you're dating today, probably the person you were dating 3 years ago. Not a whole lot of new things has happened, at least for many people, depending on where you were and how open society was. Here in Portland, it was pretty bad. There's still people wearing masks. Yeah. So it's tricky to meet new people, especially now after the pandemic. But how do you meet people in your 50s? And I don't know. I don't even have tips. I was hoping to have some tips to share. I don't know. I'm looking for the audience to give some advice on this one. I guess go out and do things and not be a jerk. I guess. I don't know. The apps, I think, are dead. I think anyone that was on dating apps years ago, they used to kind of work, but now, forget it. At least here in Portland, it is not workable on those. But yeah, I guess that's the topic. I'm trying to see. Got a couple people watching. Hey, what's up, Hairway to Steven or Stefan? Apothecary John, what's up? Bastille, hello, hello. How about over on Odyssey? 0 people watching. Well, at least it's working. At least I figured out how to get the stream going. And I am over on Rumble. Apparently I did the thing. I think I did everything correctly, but I have a coffee cup and it's spinning. It says I'll be live soon. So I'm not sure what I did wrong over there. Again, if anyone is an expert in this streaming stuff, if you can leave a comment, if there's any way I could talk to you after this stream, get some advice on how to do that, that would be cool. Yes, I agree. Let's see. Recommend meeting people out in the wild. I think that means public, because I go on a lot of hikes and I'm not running into people, but probably a tough thing to walk up to someone on a hiking trail. Hello there. Come here often, probably would not work well. I don't know. I don't have much for this topic. I just wanted to hear what you all had to think about that and maybe get an idea. So that's cool. Let's go to our next topic. And this is Petro declares a truce. Truce. Colombian President Gustavo Petro announced on New Year's Eve that the government and 5 paramilitary groups, National Liberation Army and others, have agreed to a ceasefire from January 1st through the end of June. So a 6-month ceasefire with the possibility of an extension. These groups have been involved in armed conflict in Colombia for over half a century. So who knows? Wow, it's been going on since before my birth. They've been fighting. The conflict, which has claimed an estimated 450,000 lives, according to a report by a government-appointed truth commission. Hold on. So, a government-appointed truth commission has said that there's 450,000 people have died. I'm sure many people have. I'm not sure about calling it a government-approved truth commission. We have some of those here, and I don't trust them much. But anyway, it began in '64 and involves around 90 illegal groups vying for political power and control of cocaine production. The U.S. has designated the ELN as a terrorist organization. That's the National Liberation Army, and has aided the Colombian government in its war on the FARC. That's the group, while Cuba has provided support for left-wing militants. Shock there. Now, it's interesting what has been going on in Colombia. I'm kind of interested in this. Their president is new this year. I think late spring, early summer is when he was elected. Far left guy. And since being elected, their currency is just taken a nosedive. one of the things that he did say that I find very interesting, we're not sure how long he's going to last, is that he was not going to do everything that the U.S. told him to do in the future. And I think that's kind of a good thing for Colombia, maybe not such a good thing for his longevity, if you know what I mean. Some of the things that he has established a better relationship with Venezuela, and said that they're not going to treat Venezuela to this huge, to all the sanctions that have been put on Venezuela from the United States. So because of that, their currency has really been tanking. Probably has something to do with, some certain agencies here in the U.S. But if you visit Colombia, it's really, really nice that the dollar is so strong there. I was down there earlier, or in the fall. I was in the early fall. I was down in Medellin, and wow, you could really eat a lot for your money. You go out for breakfast, avocado pancakes, and give me a mocha, and of course I want the coconut lemonade, and give me a nice scramble and the whole thing. And you're sitting outside. It's beautiful, under an umbrella. A pretty girl comes by, and yeah, how much is this? And it's like $3.80. And you're like, okay, I like this. I could live here. But yeah, it is. I guess I'm feeling very positive though about this President Petro, President Petro, for making these steps to have a truce with this fighting. A lot of the paramilitary groups, they were involved in the drug trade because it made a little bit more money than just being just doing what they did. And so I guess I feel positive about what's happening in Colombia. I'm not an expert in it by any means, but I think that this is a good development. If you have any thoughts on that, let me know, because I'd like to know what you think about that. But yeah, let's go to next topic. Anita Pointer has passed away, and she was the lead singer of the Pointer Sisters. There were several Pointer Sisters. I think there was 4. Although sometimes you saw them, there was only 3. And if you're younger, you may not have known them, but they were big. They were really big. Anita Pointer, a founding member of Pointer Sisters, died at the age of 74. No cause of death was given, but her rep told TMZ that she's been battling cancer. She formed the Pointer Sisters with her younger sisters, Bonnie and June, in 1969. That's funny. I thought maybe there was another. I'm wrong again. And the group rose to fame in the 70s and 80s with hits like I'm So Excited, Jump, and Slow Hand. Pointer Sisters made history in 1974 when they became the first black female group to perform at the Grand Ole Opry. And in 1975, they won a Grammy for Best Country Performance by a duo or group. Anita retired from the group in 2015 and released a solo album, Love for What It Is, in 1987. Now, if you don't know their songs, they're, especially their 80s songs, they're definitely a time capsule of the 80s. But the one thing that I remember the Pointer Sisters the most from was Sesame Street. And they did the Pinball Countdown. They were the singers for that. I'm still trying to learn this streaming stuff, or otherwise I would have played it. But it's an cartoon, I guess, an animation of a pinball going through things, and they're singing, forgive me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, with some jazz music and playing. And there was something about that, when you're a little kid and you're just hearing them, and they had great voices. They sounded fantastic on that little track. And they'd recorded them for all the different numbers, 1 through 12. So at the end, they would sing 7, and sing about 7, or whatever the number of the day was. But that is one of the lasting legacy of Anita Pointer. She'll be missed. So let's see. I think we got one more fun story, because all the stories are fun. And that is about some U.S. equipment found on eBay. Now, we've heard about this happening a number of times, but the consequences of this, not good. Researchers at the Chaos Computer Lab in Germany, love that name, probably some, hacker affiliates or something, have purchased 6 secure electronic enrollment kits, Seek-2s, on eBay that contain biometric data collected by the U.S. military in Afghanistan and Iraq. The devices, which were used to collect fingerprints and iris scans, were listed on eBay for $150, but were sold to the researchers for as little as $68. The data on these devices includes the names. You know what? I was not reminded of this. Flame on. How can I have news in a jungle studio without my torches? And we'll see if let's go wide here. Let's go really wide. There we go. This one here. This is good. Come on. And hopefully this one will be able to be seen. Perhaps it needs some more fuel. Again, Tom, you're not as prepared as you should be, and that's true. But we're all working on it, and it's going to be a great year. Let's make some progress. Anyway, the data on these devices included names, nationalities, photographs, fingerprints, and iris scans of over 2,600 people, many of whom are believed to be terrorists or wanted individuals. The devices were intended to be used to identify potential Taliban agents within Afghan bases following a series of shootings in which Afghan police and soldiers fired on U.S. troops. The U.S. Department of Defense has requested that the devices thought to contain personal data be returned for further analysis. So that's right. You probably remember when the U.S. pulled out of Afghanistan for whatever reason. We can't mind read, but they just left millions of dollars of equipment there because they said, well, it's just cheaper to leave it here than to bring it back. And besides, commentary here. And besides, if we leave it there, then we're going to have to, pay military contractors, or military equipment companies to make them again. See how that works. If we bring them back, then we don't have to order new equipment. But if we just leave them there, right, then we have to spend more money, which is probably what it's about, perhaps. But yeah, leaving this valuable equipment behind, and it shows up on eBay with all of the information still on it. It reminds me of people that, donate their computer to Goodwill or something, and they didn't wipe the hard drive clean, and it's got all their tax records and, all their kinky photos and everything still on there. You may expect that from looking up, like I can see the plane that's flying by. But you could expect that, from some boomer that doesn't understand how computers work. The U.S. military, the U.S. government should know better than to leave these things behind. But that's exactly what they did. This equipment they left behind in Afghanistan, and it was sold on eBay. How does eBay allow that to even be sold? You would think that that would be on the dark web. But things have been for sale on the dark web for a long time. In fact, if you know where to look, and I'm not going to tell you where, but you can find many of the things that are currently being sent to Ukraine are for sale on the dark web for purchase. If you have, the right amount of crypto. Yeah, that's happening right now. But I understand, you send it to a corrupt country and stuff gets pilfered and sold off. Of course, you expect that to happen. But leaving equipment behind that still has all that valuable data on it, that's really inexcusable. But, nothing is ever going to come of it, and whoever's responsible will probably never face any consequences for that, because responsibility never seems to matter much for the U.S. government. At least that's how it seems to me. But yes, please. I know I'll get better at this. As soon as I learn all the streaming stuff, I'll get better. The show will get better. But if you can do me a favor, hit the like button, throw me a comment. That would really help me out and make me feel good. And I know we all want each other to feel good this year, 2023. That's what it should be, the year of feeling good. I'm all for that. Let's check out some comments here. Hey, Natasha is back. Sing, sing, sing. Hairway to Steven says, I'm a UPS driver, and so the majority of my workday is spent alone driving around. Yes, it is very tough to meet the love of your life driving around in a UPS truck. I mean, but perhaps at least you may run into someone at the door, although I don't think anything might come of that. I've been living in the same place for years now, and no international supermodel with a graduate degree has ever shown up on my doorstep asking to go for a hike. So I do agree, you do have to get out into the world. Yeah, $68, hell of a deal. I agree. Yeah. So it says, guaranteed there are things like that on the black market that were supposed to go to Ukraine, and they've already been showing up. A lot of things actually did get to Ukraine, and then they're being sold from Ukraine. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, maybe I might do a video on that and just block off some of the, the address and how exactly I'm getting to the dark web to see these things. But you can actually see these things for sale right now as we speak. Yeah, so anyway, that's about it for your comments. I was told to back off from the mic a little bit. I will try that. No one watched over on Odyssey, which is okay. And Rumble, it says I will be live soon, and it still has a coffee cup. So I guess it didn't work again over on Rumble. That's something I'm going to have to keep trying to see if I can get it to work. But hopefully we'll do it. Hey, you know what? I'm going to try this again. I'm going to get better. I'm going to keep trying to make this damn thing work. So I appreciate your support. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you tomorrow at